In this video, you wonderful students, you are going to learn the past perfect. Past perfect in English is a construction made by using had plus the past participle. Had, H-A-D, plus past participle. The past perfect in Spanish is like había más el pasado participio de un verbo. For example, yo había trabajado. I had worked. Yo había ido. I had gone. Yo había estudiado. I had studied. If we are going to make negatives, we say hadn't, which is had not, hadn't. Now, let's go to what the past perfect expresses. The past perfect is used to describe an action that took place in the past before another past action, okay? Before another past action. It is used in conjunction with the past tense. Now, let's go to Spanish so that my Mexican students understand. Se usa para describir una acción que se llevó a cabo en el pasado, antes que otra acción pasada. Se usa en conjunto con el pasado simple. Esto quiere decir que la oración va a estar en past perfect y la otra en simple past. O on the contrary, al contrario, puede estar la primera oración en simple past y la segunda en past perfect. Cabe aclarar que hay palabras que se usan como conexiones, ¿ok? Like bridges, como puentes. Por ejemplo, when es una de ellas. Cuando. Before, antes de que. By the time, para cuando. Puede decir también cuando. ¿Ok? So, when is a very good connection. Also, we have before, antes de que. Ejemplo, I have finished my homework before you came. Había terminado mi tarea antes de que tú vinieras. ¿Ok? Una acción que se llevó a cabo antes que otra en el pasado. Ok, vayamos a la conjugación. En inglés, let's go to the conjugation. I had worked. Yo había trabajado. I worked. Había trabajado. You had worked. Tú habías trabajado. You'd worked. Tú habías trabajado. He had worked. Él había trabajado. He'd worked. Él había trabajado. She had worked. Ella había trabajado. She'd worked. Ella había trabajado. El it, que aquí no está, it had worked, había trabajado, y la contracción es it worked. It, apostrophe, D. It worked. Había trabajado. We had worked. Habíamos trabajado. We worked. Habíamos trabajado. They had worked. Ellos habían trabajado. Y they worked. Ellos habían trabajado. El you here is for singular, for plural. You have worked, tú habías trabajado, for plural. You have worked, tú has trabajado, o tú habías trabajado, perdón. Tú habías trabajado, o tú habías trabajado, o usted había trabajado, para singular. Okay, so it is very important that you have to use also negatives. Negatives are used using hadn't or had not. You are going to use hadn't here instead of had, and you are going to make the negative. Let's suppose that you have, and you put it here. You have there, and you put it here. I haven't worked, or I have not worked. Yo no había trabajado. You haven't worked, or you have not worked. No habías trabajado. He hadn't worked, he had not worked. She hadn't worked, she had not worked. We hadn't worked, we had not worked. They hadn't worked, they had not worked. In questions, we are going to use the same strategy. We are going to invert the auxiliary like this. Had I worked? Had you worked? Had he worked? Had she worked? Had we worked? Had you worked? Had they worked? Etc. In the case of negatives, we are going to use hadn't before the subjects. Hadn't I? Hadn't you? Hadn't he? Hadn't she? Hadn't it? Hadn't we? Hadn't you? Hadn't they? And then the past participle of the main verb. You have to remember that the verb in past perfect is in past participle. Past participle. Okay? You have to remember this. This is very important. You have to use had, and the verb, the main verb, has to be in past participle. Thank you very much for your attention. God bless you, and goodbye. You have to remember that English is easy. You have to study. Thank you.